Հանուն Հոր եւ Որդվո եւ Օգվույն Սրբո Amen. Dear brothers and sisters, today we continue the series which was started last week by the title Right on the Money. This is a series about money and stewardship. Last time we learned about how God created us for a purpose, mainly to enjoy this life and the next life in communion with Him. We also learned how God made us stewards and put us on this earth. That is, He trusted us this earth so that we cultivate it. And we learned that cultivating the earth means working in the earth with the skills and the talents and the gifts given to us. So God has given us jobs, we said, skills to work, and God has blessed all this. And lastly, we learned about Cain and Abel, the children of Adam and Eve, who in today's terms, when they first got their paychecks, brought a portion of these paychecks to God. Remember Cain's basket of fruits and Abel's fat sheep. They did this because they considered themselves as stewards who were giving thanks to God by giving a portion of what they made to God. Today we are going to learn about how the Bible talks about stewardship. And this week we are going to see two examples from the Old Testament that show us the spirit of stewardship. First, in the book of Deuteronomy, the 5th book of the Old Testament, God says to the people of Israel the following: "Do not say to yourself, 'My power and the might of my own hand have gotten me this wealth.' But remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you power to get wealth." This passage is very clear that even though we are the ones who are working 8 hours a week, 8 hours a day, and sometimes even more, it is God who gives us the wealth that we have. It is God who gives us the power to get the wealth that we have. This is like a manager. The manager doesn't own the assets of the owner. He or she only oversees the management of the owner's assets. This is something given to him by the owner. Or let us take another example. Each organization nowadays has something called endowment fund. Our church has the same. And the endowment fund has a manager who manages it. He is given certain freedom and guideline by the owner of that endowment fund. But it doesn't belong to him. He doesn't say that I generated this endowment fund. No, this is only given to him so that he can use it for the benefit of the organization. Likewise, the wealth that we generate belongs to God because it is given to us by God. God is the owner and we are the stewards. Or in another word, we are the managers. Yes, you might claim, we work hard. We do the job. We do everything. We spend the entire week working hard. We get tired. But our faith teaches us that it is God who grows up our income. It is God who opens the doors of work. Now, when I was a kid, I remember, and this was a very good tradition, our family used to do a small family breakfast. And afterwards, my dad would leave to go to his work. I remember this. My mom would say something like this to him. May God bless your pockets today, would say. May God send you good customers today. Why would my mom said these words to my dad? She didn't believe that my dad was doing good job and because of that he was getting good customers? Yes. But my mom also believed that it was God who was sending the good customers to my dad. It was God who was responsible for what my dad was making. And my mom was expressing that in a simple wish and prayer every morning. So in sum, God gives us the wealth. It belongs to God. We are only the stewards. Second, in the book of 1 Chronicles, chapter 29, King David, this great king, he gives praise to God and again says the following. He says, "But who am I, and what is my people, that we should be able to make this free will offering? For all things come from you, and of your own have we given you." For all things come from you, and of your own have we given you. During this semester, in my school, I have a course called Supervised Practice of Ministry. And in this course, each of us has an academic, or not academic, just a simple supervisor with whom we meet every 2 weeks and do theological reflection. So after doing theological reflection, we ask the question, what is the heart of the matter of this reflection? Okay? And then we put in 20 words, what is the most important part, central part of the theological reflection that we had? Now, if you ask me, what is the heart of the matter of stewardship? I am going to tell you it is this line that comes to us from the Bible. For all things come from you, and of your own have we given you. My dear brother and sister, we are called to stewardship not because we are doing a favor to God. We are saying, God, I worked hard, this belongs to me, but I am doing a favor to you and to your church, and I'm going to give you a portion of it. So I'm going to give a portion of my money to the church through the anniversary donation, through the Keep the Flame Burning program, through Yugakin, through a Sunday collection, etc. Or I often hear people saying things like, we need to give to the church in order to have the church's doors open. Or we need to give to the church in order to pay the bills of the church. Or so that you can get your salary there higher. So we are thinking about you. We are doing a great favor to you and to the church there higher. Now, first of all, I would like to thank all those who really think about my financial stability. But believe me, this isn't what stewardship is for. Nor is a stewardship about paying for the heat that we are enjoying right now. A stewardship is acknowledging God's blessings in our lives. Acknowledging that God has given us the wealth that we have. And we are just giving back a portion to God and to His church as a way of thanking Him. Look at the beauty of this praise that David gives to God. For all things come from you, and of your own have we given you. You know, when I read this and reflect upon it, I remember how, or to my mind comes the example of the children and the love that they show to their parents. They don't do this because it is a pure obligation for them, or because their parents need the love from them. They are doing favor to their parents. No, they do this because they know that the source of their life, of their existence after God, lies in their parents. They do this in a way to thank their parents, because everything that they have, their life, comes from their parents. So they are not doing any favor to them. They are just giving back a portion of that love, of that respect to their parents. And this is what stewardship is all about. We saw these two examples from the Old Testament about how everything that we have belongs to God, is given to us. And when we give back a portion of it, in reality we are giving back to God what already belongs to God. This is the heart of stewardship. And as I said last week, if you follow the teachings of the Bible and the Old Testament about stewardship, and with this mindset you give to the church, then God bless you. Please continue doing this. If you do not do this, today I would like to invite you to become a better steward, because something very fundamental is missing in your life. And the best way today in our church, in our own context, to be a good steward is to participate in our Keep the Flame Burning program. We have this program right now for over 15 years, and it is very simple. Each family commits to give an amount of money every month to the church as an appreciation to what the church does, and because of deep belief and commitment to stewardship. May God bless all those who give back to God what already belongs to God. God bless you all. Amen.